Welcome back to Operation Gamecube, the channel where I attempt to rebuild my GameCube collection from my childhood for no money out of pocket, for reasons I detail back in Chapter 1. And here we are in Chapter 12. We are more than past the halfway mark, and we can't quite see the end yet, but I am buying down the remainder of my games, and I'm continuing to add funds to the budget by any means necessary. And back in Chapter 11, we really identified a pretty lucrative revenue stream. I took a big swing, I bought a bunch of games, and I started reselling them. I ended Chapter 11 in the green, and since the end of that chapter, the remaining games have continued to sell. I'm very much in the green. And I think Chapter 11 probably starts a little bit of a 3-episode series about reselling. I'm back here today to talk to you about reselling, but not video games. This time I'm reselling DVDs. Why? Well, one of my viewers, my mom, happened to want to get involved and participate in helping me build my funds for Operation Gamecube. And she just so happened to have a pretty sizable pile of DVDs lying around. And they happened to have been my dad's. So you see, my dad passed away about 3.5 years ago. And since then, plenty of his items have, been sold off. He was quite a bit of a collector. He did not share my love of video games, but he shared my love of kind of just pop culture in general. And his avenues were music and comic books and movies. And his taste was eclectic and quite out there. And while we moved on from some of his collection over the years, there was still a pretty decent chunk sitting back home in my mom's house in Chicago. And she said, "Hey, Max, if you wanted to take this and sell it, and do the work, we could split the profits." Now, I'm not above doing a little work, selling some DVDs to make some money, but I thought it'd be a fun opportunity to reflect a little bit on my dad, on my childhood, all those things, right? I don't know what I'm getting myself into. I have to dig into these boxes, see what's there. He did have weird taste, and I mean that lovingly, I swear. But some out there DVDs are probably sitting in these boxes. But hey, every dollar counts. Let's go ahead, dig through here, make some posts on eBay, and see if we can make a few bucks for the old GameCube budget. Well, folks, the first week of my dad's DVD sales has come to a close, and a few of them have sold. Let's take a quick look at a few of them and reminisce a bit. A couple of box sets sold. This guy, SCTV Volume 2, and also SCTV Volume 3. For anyone who doesn't know about SCTV, it's basically a Canadian SNL. I think that's the easiest way to describe it. If you like Schitt's Creek, both Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara, I wouldn't say got their start, but were a part of SCTV. It was fun. I didn't watch a ton of it. My dad loved it, but it's funny. A few others that sold. This guy, Groucho Marx. I don't know what this box set is, but one of the Marx brothers. I guess it features Groucho. My dad kind of, I think, fancied himself a little bit of a poor man's Groucho. So he liked that a lot. But here's probably the one I'm most, nostalgic about. A Buster Keaton collection. I guess that's intentionally upside down. Oh, okay, I get it. The dude did some physical stunts, so it would make sense that his box would be upside down. It looks like it's a DVD book combo. I honestly don't know. I'm going to get this wrong. I'm going to say he was from the 20s. I mean, he was definitely early 1900s, a lot of silent movies. The dude could do some physical stuff. If you haven't watched Buster Keaton, watch some Buster Keaton. Amazing stunts. I mean, really physical comedy at its finest for that era. I don't know what I'm talking about. I know I enjoyed watching Buster Keaton with my dad. So, hey, fun first few DVDs to sell. Let's get them packaged up and shipped out. Well, I'm up here shipping out the next round of DVDs that sold, and unlike the first batch where I kind of had some fond memories and just things to say about the first batch, I have nothing to say about this batch, which I think is exemplary of my dad's taste in DVDs. Whether it's a bizarre German version of the Titanic, some random, I guess it's Paul Newman, but I've never seen it. Nobody's Fool. Maybe I'm making a fool of myself for saying I've never seen that movie, but I haven't. Or just other bizarre things like the Beals of Grey Gardens. My dad had eclectic taste, and I think round 2 shows that. Hey, it's just a couple bucks here and there, but it's adding up, and before you know it, I think we'll be able to turn this into a game. So, hey, let's get these packaged up and shipped out. Well, folks, I'm heading back down to my basement, aka the video game and DVD reselling dungeon, to pull out of the box the very last copy of SCTV that I have left for resale from my dad's collection. This guy right here, The Early Years. Chapters 1, 2, 3, and now this one have sold, and it is going to be shipped out tomorrow. About $10 for this DVD. As you can see, quite a few remain. Not going to be able to sell them all, but I haven't tallied it up. I think between splitting this with my mom 50-50, I'm probably going to be able to put about $40 in the budget. But I will say, one of the fun things about previous chapter, but also this one, is the, I wouldn't say it's the sense of power, but just the sense of fun that you get shipping things across the country and world. It's just been weird, right? I don't ship a lot of packages, but now it's like every other day I'm dropping something off the mailbox to head off to Hoboken, New Jersey, or Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or one of these SCTVs is going international. I'm not really sure where. Very confused. This thing has been on some sort of international trip for about 20 days now. Stopped off at a port in Ontario. And like, this little stupid exercise in selling my dad's DVDs has resulted in me sending dozens of items across the world. A sense of power is the wrong word for that. Because it's not that. It's weird. I'm gonna stop. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not sure I know exactly the emotion or the sentiment I'm trying to convey. But when you think about it, there's a lot of these little brown boxes floating around the world because I'm trying to make a few bucks to buy a GameCube game. The world's a weird place. We're all in a simulation. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Nothing like tape and labels. Oh, hopefully that wasn't a weird shot of my crotch. Tape and labels onto packages here in my car after work to drop them off at the mailbox. This is a pretty high-end operation we got running here at Operation Gamecube, but hey man, 4 more packages ready to be shipped out, selling these DVDs. I think we're gonna call this episode complete. Tally up the money and buy a game or two. Well, we are back here in my basement, and I'm gonna call this episode done. By no means am I done selling DVDs. I've got about 100 of them left, but I've made a dent. I've sold some pretty valuable ones, and I'm sitting here with just north of $100 in profit, which I have to split with my mom, but still, that's like $50 in the budget. That's pretty all right. It's certainly enough to buy a game. And buying a game, it's something my dad did for me a lot. I said at the beginning he was a collector of things. Video games was not one of them. I can probably count on 2 hands the amount of times he and I really played video games together. He was not, opposed to them as a medium. He just didn't find them compelling, and my dad didn't do the things he didn't find compelling, I tell you what. But we bonded over lots of other things. We enjoyed sports. Probably was the primary form of entertainment that we both shared, but some music, some certainly comic stuff, and action movies and things like that. And it was fun to look through the remnants of his DVDs. Again, a lot of the kind of weirder ones I think we got rid of a few years ago, but there were still some pockets there. Buster Keaton, SCTV, other just quirky ones that I have memories walking by a DVD tower in the basement and just seeing. Whether I watched the movie before in my life, I have no idea. But kind of fun to have those memories come back, and kind of fun to get to play around in that kind of familial space in this challenge. So thanks, Mom, for giving me that opportunity and for letting me buy this episode's game with the funds from my sellings of my dad's DVDs. So anyways, without further ado, what game is that, right? Well, I looked at my remaining games list and I thought, what better spot to fill than a kid's game? I am I am my dad's kid. He bought me a lot of games as a kid. Why not buy me one more, right? So I bought a kid's game with those funds, and that game I bought was Super Monkey Ball. Now, there were a lot of games that could have filled this spot. Super Monkey Ball, for those who are not initiated, is a little bit of a maze puzzle game. You basically play as a monkey in a ball, and you maneuver them through a maze and collect bananas and get to the finish line. Super simple to play. You literally just use the joystick. Really colorful. My girls, one of them likes monkeys, the other one is 3 months old. Let's assume she likes monkeys too. I think it's colorful, it's fun, it's whimsical, and it's pretty well reviewed. I've played monkey ball games before. I'm not sure I've ever owned this one, but I think they're a fun game, and as far as a kid's game goes, sure, this is a kid's game. It's simple, it's approachable, and I think Foster's going to enjoy it. Now, this did not take a huge chunk out of the budget, and boy is the budget growing. I've tallied everything up. I mentioned those video games are still reselling, and they really are still doing quite well. I came into this purchasing of Monkey Ball with north of $400 in the budget. This cost me close to $30, and I am sitting now with $390.10 left in the budget. That's a lot of money. I think I can get pretty close to the end of this challenge of buying my 20 games. Let's bring that games list up and fill in Monkey Ball, as you can see what's remaining. $390. Maybe that's enough to get there. Maybe I need to find another revenue stream or two to close this thing out. But, as I sit here today, I think it's pretty cool that my dad gets to buy me one more game. So, thanks, Dad. Okay. That's Operation Gamecube. That's Chapter 12. And I'll see you next time.